Rio de Janeiro is a big city, but it's I think we have a lot of big cities here in Latin America, and which are trying. Everyone is trying to do its best on the procurement of electric buses. We in Rio have not yet procured electric buses, but we have done a lot of work in that sense. And the TUMI E-Bus Mission was a great partner in this journey, with the support of the BRI, ITDP, and C40, the implementation partners of the TUMI E-Bus Mission here in Rio de Janeiro. This is a picture of a first pilot demonstration project that we did with the support of TUMI in Madureira, a very cultural zone here in the capital, in the heart of Rio de Janeiro. And we did a demonstration of the technology with this cultural line here in Rio. But the reality that we're facing here in Rio is that we are still a bit behind of the region in terms of procurement, right? So we understand that the region is growing substantially. The number of e-buses, we see that it's growing even faster in 2022 than it did in 2021 and before the pandemics. Um, and in Brazil, we see that this kind of evolution is still a little slower than in the other countries in the region, mainly due possibly to an adequate regulatory framework at the national level. We would love to have the support of national incentives such as our Indian colleagues, but this is something that we still don't. And not only incentives, but really the what could be the contract types and the procurement legal and economical aspects that could be nationalized and standardized across the nation. This is something that we still haven't yet consolidated, right? But taking this quote from the old man in the sea, it is better indeed to be lucky, but we still rather be exact, right? So then when luck comes, we are ready. And I think that digitalization is about that. It's about you being ready for when the opportunity comes. You are already very smoothly prepared to implement what you're supposed to. And I think that this is what this the main evolution that we can really see, and with these new approaches to make these e-bus projects move faster. Just as I was mentioning, Brazil is a bit behind, but we have Colombia, Chile, and Mexico playing very important roles in terms of e-bus fleets, even greater fleets than our European and Asian and even North American colleagues. Here, what we see in terms of manufacturers is a massive presence of BYD. We still don't have a lot of competitiveness, especially here in Brazil, and this also plays a very important role in leaving us with a slower implementation of e-bus projects for sure. So this is something that we understand that as the market matures, we see that Mercedes are already planning to implement an e-bus vehicle here in Brazil, Marco Polo, along with other manufacturers. We have the national manufacturer Eletra. We also have Higer entering the market. We expect the market to grow faster. And how can the digitalization approaches in planning support that? Well, we have very specific windows of opportunities, right? Because the concession and permission contracts, they often finish at a very specific period in time. And in Brazil, for instance, we have many systems that were procured in 2005, 2015, and are now in this decade and the years to come finishing and due to reprocurement. And of course, this is the best opportunity for you to set the real standards and the real targets for the electrification of your e-bus fleet or of your bus fleets. So we have to work up having these windows of opportunities in mind. But what we did in Rio de Janeiro is that we introduced in a very hard environment, a very harsh environment, very very advanced technologies, but done that could be done in house and with open code softwares, right? So we have mapped the entire network of Rio de Janeiro transit system using simple softwares to really structure the first GTFS data set for the network. We are now having access to the ticketing micro data, and we are using the GPS data also to monitor and pay for and remunerate the operators by the kilometers that they made. This is a very large improvement that we did in terms of the planning of the system, and that when we had the opportunity to structure an E-Bus fleet project for the BRT system, it was very smooth for us to really uh, use these tools to evaluate what would be the adequate fleet size, what could be the headways, what could be the service planning and the operational planning for the routes that could be electrified. This is another result of this kind of activity that we did here in Rio with the support of TUMI partners. We evaluated what was the how can I say that the synergies between the different bus routes. So between two different routes, what could be the synergies so that they could share a bus between the two routes in order to maximize the operational efficiency and use the same bus or the same battery in its with one recharge for you to operate two lines and use it better during the daily operational planning. And finally, as we move forward with not only planning but really implementing the projects, we also think that digitalization approaches can make these projects thrive. We are now due to the reinauguration of BRT corridor here in Rio, and what we're planning is to use new approaches such as QR codes in the stations for passengers to have real-time estimated time of arrival for their buses. And this is a major improvement because we could use the conventional TVs that we see in the stations, but we really face challenges for us to keep them maintained. It's much better for us to put a QR code and have the information in the cloud so that we can always update the information that is in the cloud much easier, and much easier for you to maintain a QR code and a sticker in the station than having a whole TV set in it, right? We really believe that now with us providing the Wi-Fi at the stations, the majority of passengers already have access to it. Of course, we still need to have in mind equity approaches for us not to leave anyone behind. And I think this is the major challenge that we will face as we talk about digitalization in E-Bus projects here in Latin America and most probably in other regions, right? But well, thank you very much once again for the opportunity for us to talk about this specific topic. We are really thankful to be part of the TUMI initiative and to receive the support from all its partners and now to participate in this e-course. So very much looking forward to the next steps and support that we could share on these. Thank you very much.